What's up, guys? Mickle here. I wanted to make a quick video for you. I got a pretty busy day, got some 4th of July activities going on, but there's something going on right now that I haven't talked about a lot that I think is really going to be absolutely huge, do a ton for the XRP price, and it's flying pretty under the radar. Right now, we know that we have some pretty massive upgrades coming to the XRP Ledger. We all know about XLS20, which will add NFT support directly on the XRP Ledger. Whether or not you like, whether or not you hate NFTs, it's really important to understand that NFTs are going to have a ton of use case in the future, whether it's for public health records, different property rights, land rights, anything that needs to be stored online and needs to be tied to a specific person. Right now, we're really at the early stages and we're seeing a lot of bubblish activity with JPEGs having hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of value. That's very likely not going to be the future, but it's important to realize that NFTs are going to cause a ton of adoption, and we've already seen that happening on the Ethereum network. The fact that the XRP Ledger is adding NFT support on the ledger is very significant, and it's going to cause a lot more Ethereum-like adoption to happen on the XRP Ledger. This is going to cause a lot more XRP to be used up in the process of minting the NFTs and just from people using the ledger more often, and will likely have a big impact on the price of XRP as more of the demand is tied up. I also want to point out that there are more big upgrades coming soon, and this is what gets me really excited because for a while now, we have kind of seen the XRP Ledger in this state where it was really good for payments, but it seemed like developers were having a hard time really adopting the ledger and making it their own. It was like the XRP Ledger was really good for payments and really good at that one thing, but it wasn't customizable enough for new developers to come in and really do what they want with the ledger. Well, just the other day, David Schwartz released that the XRP Ledger would also be undergoing an upgrade called XLS30, and that would add automated market makers to the XRP Ledger. Now, in my opinion, this is really big, and this is going to be a game changer. Automated market makers are really important for DeFi. They allow DEXs to work seamlessly, really well, and it's one of the few places in DeFi we have seen a ton of reliability. It seems like DEXs have always been pretty stable, there haven't had any big issues, and they make a lot of adoption happen. Take a look at things like Uniswap. There are hundreds of billions of dollars tied up in the Uniswap protocol. Maybe not hundreds of billions, but multiple billions of dollars tied up in the Uniswap protocol. And this creates constant demand, a constant supply shock on the Uni token. This is something we're going to have directly built on the XRP Ledger. Uniswap is just an ERC20 working on the Ethereum network. Ethereum doesn't even have native automated market maker support. The XRP Ledger is soon going to have this, and you're going to be able to earn yield on your XRP by utilizing this decentralized exchange, this decentralized liquidity pools. This is going to be so big for the XRP Ledger and cause so much adoption. This is what the developers need. The developers need sophisticated tools like this so they can really build out and make things on the XRP Ledger in a similar style that's being done on other blockchains. Now, I think the XRP Ledger has a really big advantage here because it's all happening directly on the ledger. We know that XRP had one of the first decentralized exchanges ever, and I think once this gets more light and people really start realizing how many features the XRP Ledger is going to have, the XRP Ledger is really going to become a standard for development. Almost like Ethereum was back in the day, but a system that actually works. Now, right now, it's really hard to deny that Ethereum is still that standard for development. But what I'm trying to say here is these new upgrades, these new massive things coming to the XRP Ledger, the XRP Ledger has the potential to take over Ethereum in this development. Now, this would be absolutely huge because we know that XRP really is the king of payments, and in terms of cheap, very efficient liquidity, XRP really has that market tied up, it has it in the bag. But in terms of outside development, the XRP Ledger has really lacked. I think these upgrades that are coming to the XRP Ledger are going to do a ton to foster adoption. Even in the last couple months, I have seen so many more projects building on the XRP Ledger, and there's a lot of fluff in there. There's a lot of projects that aren't going to make it. but there's a lot of projects that are going to take off and do some really cool things. This is exactly what we need on the XRP Ledger. The more big projects, the more real projects we have actually building on the Ledger, the more utility XRP is going to have, and that utility is going to drive a massive increase in the price of XRP. XRP got such a long way just being a payment liquidity token, but it really looks like we're entering the next generation, the next phase of the XRP Ledger, and I think this is going to do amazing things for the XRP Ledger as long as it can do so in a way that doesn't ruin it like Ethereum ruined its technology by making fees really expensive, and ultimately it really just slowed down. There was too much going on there. It couldn't function properly. As long as that doesn't happen, and I do not think it's going to happen, the XRP team is so good. They are so meticulous. They are so careful with the changes they make. I think they are well ahead of it. I think it's going to run perfectly. One other thing I wanted to talk about, though, and I thought this was pretty interesting, and this kind of ties into the same style of stuff we were just talking about. It was a report I saw the other day, and it was noting all the different crypto companies that were going under because of the new liquidations going on, mostly tied to Terra Luna, but it made a pretty interesting comment, and it said, it's kind of interesting that we see all these centralized parties like Celsius, like BlockFi, like Voyager, all going under, going bankrupt, while the DeFi core infrastructure is running well. And this was really interesting for me because in my head, I always thought when we had kind of a moment like we're seeing right now, most of the centralized parties would be able to kind of get their stuff together, figure stuff out before stuff got bad, and it would be the DeFi protocols that would go into these spirals that were unrecoverable. This is almost the opposite of what we're seeing right now, and I think this gives a lot of, I don't know how you want to say it, almost like praise for the technology actually taking place. It turns out that the actual protocols, the software, it handles this stuff a lot better than humans. Humans are the ones messing it up, and that's why we have things like BlockFi, that's why we have things like Celsius going under, but different protocols like Compound are perfectly fine. This is something really interesting, and I think this could be a large reason why the XRP developers are now adding these new features to the XRP Ledger, and they're saying, look, these things are proven now. These things are really functioning how they're intended in bull and bear markets. And this is something I really appreciate out of the XRPL developers, because I would rather see the technology proven out. I would rather see the technology working before I have that just rammed into the protocol. I want to make sure, hey, this doesn't only work when we have money being pumped into the system. I want to see it work in a bear market too. And I think over these last couple of weeks, with all these defaults we have been seeing on centralized companies, I think it's giving a lot more power to decentralized companies and really showing, hey, these things can operate better than their centralized counterparts. This is exactly what we thought they would do, but now we have the proof that they are actually doing it. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Really excited about these upgrades coming to the XRP Ledger. I think in 5 to 10 years from now, we're going to look back at this and say, wow, I cannot believe how far this thing has come. This is not only an institutional grade liquidity platform for moving money all around the world instantaneously, but this is a brand new financial system being built. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a 4th of July. Have a good 4th of July. Have some fun today. For now, Mickle out.